So you have basically perfected the CA finish. Would you care to share your process?
Okay, I'll do you better. I'll share some really good tips. How about that?
There we go.
There you go.
All right. So nobody likes to have little bits of gloves and paper towels glued to their fingertips, right? Well,
Nope.
the best gloves to use are the ones, they look like little plastic hand turkeys that they heat seal together. They use them in food service. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are polyethylene gloves, which is the same material that your glue bottles are made out of, and it will not stick. So if you want to be able to use it and not get CA stuck to you, use those gloves, and they're cheap. You can buy 100 of them at Walmart for like $1, or you used to be able to. I don't know what it costs now.
Before COVID. Gotcha.
Yeah, but there's that.
$45 now.
And then the other thing is, while you're using those gloves, just understand the fact that when CA kicks off, the exothermic reaction can get very hot, and it could actually melt the glove. So don't fart around when you're using it. You know, do your business and put the applicator down.
Yeah.
The number 2 is the only coat of CA that matters if you want that dipped glass look is the last layer. Nothing else matters. So don't sand in between. Don't use activator in between. The way I do it is 2 coats, activator, a 3rd coat, turn the lathe off. I do a little inspection thing, because if you got if you have adhesion problems, they'll show up at that point. If you do, then you sand it back. So it almost looks like there's nothing on there. But because I use thin CA, it's in the material. So once I get it sanded back, it's kind of like a sealer at that point, and every successive coat will adhere CA to CA. Okay. And then you put the rest of your coats on one after the other. Don't stop. Don't do anything, right? And when you get to the end, you got to get the surface flat first. And once you got it flat because you go back and sand it, and when you rotate it with the light on it, you stop getting those little light points. Those are low spots. The shiny spots are little low spots. When you get rid of those and buff it, it will be perfect. But the only one that matters is the last one. So anybody that tells you got to sand between coats, nope. Using activator between coats, nope. The only thing you got to do is, like I said, that step after the second coat, you really don't have to, but it's just conducive, because the last thing you want to do is if you're having adhesion problems early on, it's a lot easier to sand that away and keep moving than it is to because I always put 12 coats. Sand it off the 12 coats, right? So it's a lot easier early on. Plus, if it's not going on properly, it's not going on properly anyway. So it's just making a mess. So those are let's see, I think that's, and don't bother with micro mesh, right? When you get ready to get it flat, I use wet dry sandpaper, and it doesn't matter which, 320, 800, 1500, it doesn't matter. You just got to get it flat, and then take it to a buffing wheel and I use the Beal system. I use the Triple E, the white diamond. That's it. Don't use the wax, because the wax it'll knock the shine back a little bit. I mean, if that's what you want, okay, fine. But the wax will never be as shiny as the CA. So you don't need it, because the CA is a finish. So you just want to use the Triple E and the white diamond to buff it up, and perfect.
Nice.
There you go. Thank you.
No problem.